Magic Mountain 2025 continues with the Operations Manager.
Holden, I am the Operations Manager here at the park. I've been with the company for 29 years now. I've been the Ops Manager for about 10 years. Roughly for a little while, I went over to security. Was Security Manager for 3 or 4 years. Got a little experience in that, but I'm now back in Operations as the Operations Manager. I am open to questions that you guys have. I will answer them to the best of my ability from the operations side. I know you guys talked to Brad and John on a lot of the maintenance mechanical side of it, but from an operations standpoint, I will go from our side. You guys might have some questions about something, and I'm here to answer wherever I can.
I'm curious with the joining of Cedar Fair, if we're going to get any of the food that comes out there, like for example, Boardwalk Fresh. I'm just curious.
I can't speak for the food department.
Yeah, okay.
That's some different people.
Yeah.
I can tell you that we do have a chef now at the park who's very good. He's very creative. He's putting together quite some menus. So I think you guys will really start to enjoy some of the things that comes out of that.
How do you maintain the operations from like the ride operators in terms of moving and loading and dispatching the trains in a efficient and manner and all of those things? What's your strategy on that?
Right. So we have a couple things that we really push. We have something we call load and go. Basically, we put you on the ride. We want to move people in and out as quickly as possible to help the queue and help people getting through. It's something that we really push for seating. We also really ask for our guests to help us in the sense of be ready to ride. If you have something, a backpack or something you need to put to the side or something, try and find locations where you can put them and sit them down and be ready to go. We sometimes have people that wander, kind of look around where they need to put something, and they delay everyone else on the train. Obviously, we're really hard on cell phones and any electronic device policies, so put them away, put them in your pocket, or secure them somewhere that you're not holding it on the ride. So if we can get that help and cooperation, we can get trains out pretty quickly and try and hit close as we can to our theoretical throughput. Yes.
How do you determine how many trains go on the track for each day?
It varies. Sometimes it's maintenance. One train may not be available, so we're left whatever it is. Obviously, I don't know if they covered it or not, but rides have rehab time, so they're scheduled to go down certain times of the year. So we're maybe down to one train. Myself, as an ops guy, I always want max trains. I always push for that. It just helps with the guests, it helps with throughput, it gets you guys what we call RPG, which is rides per guest, on as many as you can. So I will almost always push for multiple trains on the operations side. Sometimes we work with our maintenance partners, and they may tell us, hey, in this amount of time this train has to go down for rehab, so we may on really slow days not run that. Just so we can extend the life of that train being in use before we have to go down. And it's no surprise we have busy seasons and less busy seasons, so we try and have everything up for our busier seasons, which is generally the summertime and Fright Fests are that type of year, and less so right now in January and early February. So, yes.
On the note from the previous question about efficiency of guests getting on the ride and everything, I know a lot of the Cedar Fair parks had individual bins for each train. Is that something that's been discussed since the merger? I know here every coaster has a different type of bin or a different system, and if it was cohesive, I was thinking that's something that might help in terms of that.
One of the really cool things about this merger is best practices. Yeah. They do some things over there that frankly better than some of the things that we did, and vice versa. So we talk to each other. I've gotten to know Knox manager and directors, things I wouldn't talk to before, and we share best practices. We try and make it as efficient and as fun as we can. to help in whichever way, whichever direction that goes. So to directly answer your question, yes, we've heard about that. Those are things that we're looking into, and things that could be helpful to us as well. Yes.
What's the status of Superman?
Superman's down right now. It's in rehab. That's all I got.
Is it refurbishment? Can't say anything.
Yeah, it's been worked on. It's been, if you guys follow it, it's been down for a while. Superman is a great ride, but it's had its issues over the years, so it takes some time to get that thing back up. So working through it.
So is that kind of why Lex is down too? Kind of like an intertwine?
No, Lex just so happens to be down today. It was open. It was open yesterday. It'll likely be open. They're working on a mechanical thing today. I don't know if it's going to be up tomorrow. If they'll have it in time because it's Sunday, but it'll be up.
Prime said it's not open today.
So you're saying there's no demolition?
Oh, Dr. Doom ain't open?
Oh, well, we do.
Dr. Doom is not open. Y'all can't make me ride it.
I do have a question. How do you handle the operation on the dual coaster that you have to make sure when they dispatch one train?
West Coast?
Yeah, not West Coast.
Twisted?
Yeah.
Twisted. I'm very partial to Colossus. Colossus was my first big ride many, many years ago, so it's always held a special part in my heart. So when we changed over to Twisted Colossus, one of the things that I always pushed was racing the trains, and we have 3 online. 3 is really the only way we could truly race. You may get one side of a race if you have 2, but you won't get both sides. It's really 3. So we have certain dispatch intervals, certain points, so we kind of know if we hit this, it'll race. If we are a little behind, and then it won't race. There's nothing we can do to have the other train catch the other one. So it's really about the people online knowing that and pushing that and getting people on. The communication before you get on to make sure, hey, you guys want to race, put your loose items over here and come right back. We got to go. It's really the one ride that we do tell people, hey, we want to get you out racing. This is what you need to do beforehand and go. But it's really a timing thing. There's probably a 20-second window there that you have that's free. But if you go past that, it's very hard for us to race. But it is a priority and it's a goal. And every time we change out the crew and we get new leads and people in there, we talk about that. Like, hey, you're now here. This has got to be one of your priorities. That's in your head. So,
how do you work with the creative? I believe that there's a communication between the operations team and the creative department. So how does that work?
So creative has a lot of ideas. We try and be involved with their side and things that they want to do from an operations standpoint. Say, hey, this is more efficient. Example would be lockers. A lot of our lockers are old school. You guys know that, and they're just stuck in places and don't really help. So it's one of the things that we talk about. Like, hey, that's a big deal to ops. You put lockers here, we can, dual side. You can go in, put your stuff in, go ride the ride, come out, get them out. It helps efficiency. It helps everything down the line. So as we get more involved, especially with the merger, and you have a whole new group of people that's involved in this, it's helping to work with them to be involved, to have a quote unquote operational say on that type of thing, rather than them building the ride and say, hey, here's a ride, you go run it. We're trying to get from the get-go. Yes.
This might be a hot take, but like with Wonder Woman and also X2, I would be totally okay if there was mandatory lockers on Twisted Colossus if it means it gets to race every time. Just saying.
I hear you, and
as much as people keep lockers, but
it is something that I'm well aware of, and so it's something I can tell you that it's on my radar to make happen, because I agree with you. But that station is also 50 years old, so finding the right location for it where people can easily put their stuff in as they go, but then they would have to come back through the queue to get it out. So it's just finding the best way that works for it. But those are the type of ideas that we think about and try and make as efficient as possible. It's just maybe cutting some rails here or there, making it work.
you can ditch the
to
break
do
room
it.
that they have with the other stations.
Yeah. I thought that's another.
We're going to get ready to wrap things up. I know we may have some more questions. I do have a really important question to ask you. You're Dorian, you're over ride operations. So basically, you're that guy. You're him. You're he. You're him and he. Okay. So if we wanted to get an extra train on X2 to get our own train, you would be the one that would make that happen today.
They're running one train. Come on. It's one train, yeah. We can't, if the second train's down right now, so I can't give you another train. But let's see what we can do. What time is your ERT tonight?
Tonight.
No, what time is it?
The ERT, when the park closes to the public, so.
Come on, Dorian.
It's at what time?
It was 8:30?
8:30, okay.
Come on, Dorian.
I'll do you this. We close at 8.
Okay.
So if you guys are at the gate of X2, when we close, I will have my team let you get a ride on X2, and then we will take you over to...
See black men in power.
Okay.
Because they make things happen.
Yeah. And then we'll have the team.
Which gate?
X2 gate. We call it the...
8 o'clock. X2.
7:50.
At 7:50.
We melanated, so 7:50.
Listen, at 7:50. At 7:50, meet at the X2 gate for us to cycle through, and then we're gonna go to full throttle and start the ERT.
And you
got that?
Dorian, you the man.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. All right.
Uh-oh.
My favorite
Pressure's
is
on.
Twisted Colossus.
Step-by-step ride.
Twisted Colossus.
Step-by-step roller coaster. Y'all too young for that one, y'all. You know, y'all know TGIF. I know. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to go. A little quick change to the itinerary. We're not gonna do Twisted Colossus. Try to do that at 1:30 because there's a lot going on. So please feel free to ride the parks today. Stay in groups. If you want to stay with me in Prime's group, you're more than welcome. I don't want to see nobody walking by yourselves. Stay with some group. Takes lots of pictures. If you are not on the group chat and you want to be in the group chat, come see me so I can give you the QR code. I want you to take pictures. Drop all your pictures in that QR code so we can use that for our media for later. We're going to now meet, because Dorian is the man, we're going to meet at 7:45.
Right.
Because we're the Melanin Coaster Network. So 7:45 at X2, get that ride there, and then we'll go over to full throttle for our ERT at night. Woo! Are you excited? Yeah. You should be, because you're making things happen.
Just make sure everybody has a wristband, because if you don't got it, you're not getting on.
You can't get in without your wristbands. Make sure you have your wristbands. You got your wristbands, friend?
He's ready. All right, y'all ready?
All right. You are free to go. Have fun. We'll see you tonight.